Okay, this is the third video related to sequential diagrams. So if you've downloaded, I don't know if you can see this, if you've downloaded the descriptors on the side here, there are 25 to choose from on the side, so select one of them. So if I choose how to make a cup of tea, we're going to first of all look at generating some ideas. So there's a space on the sheet that you can download to draw on, or just use it on a spare piece of paper. So first of all, I can only use 5 area or 5 boxes diagrams. So what I need to do is plan that out first. So the first thing I might need to do is we might need to boil the kettle. So I'm going to write out the stages that I might want to use. Some of them I might have to combine. So I've missed out fill up with water. So fill with water. Also the plugging in, switching on of the kettle, I've missed those out. The second thing I need to do is I need a cup and I need a tea bag in the cup. Once it's boiled, I'm going to pour the water in. Okay, I'll have to leave for some time for it to brew. If you want to put sugar in, you can do. I need to remove the tea bag. And finally, what I then need to do is add milk. Okay, so now I need to kind of generate some ideas for these. What am I going to kind of draw for these sections? So for the kettle, for some of you, particularly in year 8, you might be able to sketch out your kettle in isometric. So those of you in year 7, we might not have covered this yet. So I might draw out a isometric version of a kettle. So I could draw on here using 30-degree lines, the spout. I could draw on the handle on the side, so it's just a rough sketch to give me an idea. I want to fill it with water, so I might draw a part of the tap filling with water over here on the side. If we haven't covered isometric work, you could draw it in 2D, so you might draw a more traditional looking kettle, those styles that look something like this. And this time, rather than have water pouring in, I might just have like a droplet. I might even make it transparent so I could show the water going inside the kettle. Maybe it's dripping on the inside, and it probably needs a handle on the side. So I'm coming up with a couple of ideas for each of those stages. If I'm going to draw in, let's say for instance, the cup of tea, again, if we haven't covered isometric work, I could draw what's more like a mug of tea here. There's the handle on the side. And then your tea bag, you could even do one of those tea bags with a little tab on the side. We might even draw an arrow to illustrate how it might go into there as well. If it's adding the milk, let's say that's like a focus task, you might want to zoom in on that. So for instance, if I move it over here, you might, if this was your box, you might just have the top of the cup. So there's the top of the cup, draw an isometric circle in there, those of you in year 8 following this. And then this is going to be another isometric circle on a different plane, those in year 8, and then we might have the we might have the milk going into here on the side. I might even put a spoon in there on the side. So I'm trying to come up with some ideas for each of the stages that I might plan. You can swap these around, you don't have to be set in stone. You might decide, well, actually I'm going to do the plugging in of the kettle, I'm going to do the switching of the kettle. So try and plan out. You can only use 5 for this exercise, and then try and generate some ideas, just rough work, what you could draw for each of these stages. Okay.